In network marketing, which is more important, training or a system? What do you feel is more important? Now, okay, let me ask you this. If you had a brand new person join you in your company today, would you rather they get a system or would you rather they get really good training?
I truly believe a system first. I think a system before training because do you want me to go into because right now, or do you want me to
Uh, The
keep
floor is
flowing?
yours, man.
You
Just
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 flow.
let it rip.
So a system allows a person to take immediate action.
I feel like this
So
is what came first, the chicken or the egg. I really do.
that's right. I've made this. I've said this so many times in my life. I don't know how many times I might have even said it on here, but I truly believe uh, ignorance on fire is way better than knowledge on ice. And I find that in all cases, don't even know of a single case that it's not. A brand new person who comes in excited will go take real action because they're excited, and then over time they start reading about the website and learning the compensation plan, and now they feel like they have to talk a bunch, they have to feel like they, and it just slows down the process for
Hmm.
for them. And I've witnessed this even in myself, I've witnessed this over time. And so for me, I think education and training is great for developing into leadership. I think that's a path to leadership,
Hmm.
but a system plugs people in and will help your team uh, duplicate with a few. Then and the ones who just want to read and do all this stuff, your analytical people, yeah, they're going to take a little bit of action anyway. But I think you need a system that they can plug into first.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate. Can someone who's excited get started and go take action without going through a system?
Sure. Yeah, I don't think that just as I'm playing with this, most of us have never really had a system.
Yeah.
Most of us come in, we hear about something we like, we find out that there's a link to share, and then we go do all the wrong things immediately. Almost every one of us go do it wrong immediately. We go blast social media. We
Hmm.
we go talk to our friends and family and tell them all the details, and we try to oversell and we try to explain. My favorite thing that I witness people do on a regular basis is when they're inviting people to a thing they're excited about, they pre-sell it before letting the resource sell it. It's like, hey, let me tell you all about this thing, and then you can watch my resource. And it's like, why do I need to watch a resource if you just told me all about it?
Hmm.
Anyways, that's I just love that. I've done this wrong so much, man, to get
Yep.
to this point. It takes time to develop into who you're going to become. We talked about
For
it. You
sure.
got a
Yeah.
Jim Rohn quote you're going to throw out in a second, but we don't start off knowing how to be good network marketers.
I
There's
can't
no
do an
way,
episode without using Jim Rohn.
of course. But we don't start off being good network marketers. We start off being employees. We start off being whatever it is that took us all these years to get to this point. And now we have the ability to share something, be excited about sharing it, have some urgency to share it, and then now you've got to duplicate. And the duplication part is where most fail miserably. They just think that they're in sales. They just think, oh, I'm now selling this thing. I'm now
Hmm.
being the sales guy. And the reality is, if you're in network marketing, this has nothing to do with selling and everything to do with duplication and building a sales army.
Hmm.
And so this learning, having a system, having the education, I think it over, as you grow through this process, and even if you do it in one company, it's a process of developing into that awareness of what it is that the education that you're getting. That's
So
hilarious.
yeah, Jim Rohn. I mean, in regards to that is, if you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll create an excuse. It's priorities. It comes down to priorities. And I've said this a billion times over the last several years. It's like you either want it or you don't. If you're at a point where you're sitting there coming up with excuses as to why you can't do something, all it simply means is you just don't want it bad enough.
All right, there it is. There's the tie-in. I'm gonna tell the story. I'm gonna tell the story.
Do it, drop it.
This weekend, I had a family member, a person who I care about, and they were talking about having a webcam, this device that they could read uh, bedtime stories to their grandchild who lives across the planet. And so they told me that they were, as they were walking out of the room, that they just never used it. They took it back to the store, and they just realized that they weren't camera people. And I said, all I heard you tell me was it wasn't important to you. And she looked at me because that was a slap in the face, really.
Sure.
Because it was literally me directly telling her, you don't care about your grandkid that much. You don't care about spending time, all the things that now she's reading into. And I said, you just don't, it's just not important to you. And just like Dan just said, the
Mhm.
priorities that we have when you start into a network marketing company or building something, and you start working with sharing and showing what you have, and then helping other people share and show what they have, it's going to require sacrifices of your time. It's a brand new thing in your life, and
Mhm.
if you don't want it, you won't prioritize it.
Yeah.
If it was a hobby, if it was going hunting or fishing or going out with your friends or going to the ball game, going to whatever, or watching TV, well, you'll find all the time in the world to do that because you want it. That dopamine for whatever it is that you want is
Yep.
there. But man, Dan, when it's like when you figure out what that you want this and you taste that residual income, dude, I bought 3 kayaks. I ain't been kayaking in a year and a half because I'm building too much. I'm having this is my priority.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I think it's almost to me like humorous when I've had people in my downline reply to me at some point and they're like, "Oh, I can't do this anymore. I just don't have the time." I was like, "That's cool. You just don't want it." And they're like, "No, I really do." And I'm like, "No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. Because if you wanted it, you'd make it a priority. You'd find the time." And it's just, but people will tell themselves it's self-validation. People have to give themselves an excuse. They have to give themselves an out. And the other part of that is people are also addicted to being right. That's just human psychology 101. Like people want to be like, well, yeah, I don't have the time. Yep, check the box. Okay, I'm validated. I'm right. And then they'll probably tell a friend or a family member, yeah, I didn't have the time. Oh, you're so right. Those things take up so much time. Yep, self-validation. Um, but
My buddy Kelly has said it for years, and I use it against people all the time. Look, you either want to be right or you want to be rich.
yep.
You don't get to pick. It's like pick one, just one. He said that to me enough times that it hurt my feelings, so I use it all the time now because I'm
Yeah, but
stubborn.
eventually you understood it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now yeah, it's ingrained.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like all of Jim Rohn's line, his lines, like when you sit there and think about him, you're like, damn, dude, like you're on point. um, but I mean,
And
circle.
it takes us a while to get it.
Yeah.
I don't want to get deep into. I love religion, and I love that Jesus taught these goofy disciples, these people who were fishermen, were they didn't have
Farmers. Yeah.
skill. Yeah, they didn't have skills in reaching people, and he literally taught through parables, through stories.
Mhm.
And he taught them that way because they weren't going to get it at first. It took time to realize what the message was, just as training
I have
and
such a good
tools.
training reference.
All right, go ahead.
When it comes to Jesus too, and specifically because of Jim Rohn, when he's talking about brevity, about just being short and to the point, where like you want to talk about training and simple training, and you don't need a system for this. When Jesus was walking around and gathering his disciples, he literally just said, "You follow me." Like, come here, do this. Like that's about that's about as direct as you get. You know what I mean?
And they did it.
I know.
The-
You know,
I actually told this last week because I find that now we're going down this rabbit hole. What I love is Peter, the Apostle Peter, who was supposedly the essential first pope of the Catholic Church, and this goofy guy has been walking with Jesus for 3.5 years, seen miracles. The night before Jesus is taken into custody, he cuts off a guy's ear. Jesus puts his ear back on. And then the next day, Jesus is arrested. Peter denies even knowing the guy after 3.5 years. And then the day after Jesus dies, Peter's fishing. He's not doing this anymore. He quit because his upline died. His upline died and he went fishing. This is my favorite story about how I tie in faith to network marketing. Peter is the single greatest example of what everybody does. You don't listen.
yep.
You can be so excited about this, and you can get invited, and you can follow along, and you can play the come to the Zooms and do all the stuff and be in the social. And then the moment your upline goes to do something else, gets distracted, quits, maybe even really dies, do you stay in it?
Yep.
Or do you just, I'm going fishing. I'm going fishing.
Yeah. Well,
It's my favorite tie-in, man. It is
I've
so good.
I've seen that time and time again. It's like, where a leader or anyone moves to a different company, does something else, the duplication just fizzles because people feel like, oh man, I can't go do this because they're not going to do that. And it's like, wait, what? Why? It circles
Well,
back to you just
this
don't want
opens
it.
up
You don't
right, but
want it.
this opens up a really neat conversation point about developing influence. Isn't it exciting that if you decide to go do something else as you develop as a leader and you've added value to people, that people aren't following companies, they follow people?
For sure. For sure. For sure. Yeah, it's a very interesting social world out there. And it amazes me sometimes, like, or as Jim would say, I'm fascinated that people's drive or lack of drive can be based on some stuff that has nothing to do with them in their lives. Someone goes to promote a different company, someone decides to retire, somebody unfortunately passes. It's like, can't do this business anymore. It's like, why not? Why can't you step up and be that
Right.
person? But
Well, that my upline died, so I guess the company's over.
yeah, I know, right?
What was you in it because you joined your upline, or did you join an opportunity? Which one was it?
Yeah. So, well, you know what? I mean, maybe back to the original topic today. What came first, the training or the system, chicken or the egg? Maybe that person that was their upline leader was providing great training, decided to go do something else, and they said, "Man, I don't have the training anymore. I can't do it. I can't keep going."
But that's what good trainer, including Jim, including Zig, and all the
Eric,
greats we
yep.
got, and nobody started out good. Nobody even started out a little good.
Yeah.
Everybody had to get better, and each and every person listening to this, we've given you 25 solid uh, trainings on being better and personal development and growth.
Hmm.
And you, the listener right now, I'm talking to you out there in the listening world, you have the opportunity to be better. You
Mhm.
have the opportunity to learn to take this information, create content from it, what you learn, your takeaways, your pieces and parts of it, create content that is value add to attract people to you. And every day you get better by taking the action to get better. If you want to, if
Mhm.
you want.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and quote Les Brown, not
Oh,
Jim, Les, where he says, you don't have to be great to start. You just have to start to be great. And, I think too many people, if they don't have the right training, they, they're like, oh, well, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do this. And insert all the excuses. Well, I don't know how to do all that stuff. It's like, yeah, neither did we when we started, but we learned it. We started. That's the most important part there. You start and then you figure stuff out. You learn and you fail and you grow and you develop, and then you fail again and then you learn and you grow and you develop. And then the process repeats who knows how many times until you get it. But I think,
how much farther do you think you would be if in year one or two of your journey you had Chat GPT?
oh,
Like, I thought about this. I was like, if I had the tools that you Yahoos have, the things in place that you guys have 10 years ago, I'd be making tens of millions of dollars. Not,
a
it's,
month.
dude, the things that these people have at their fingertips that they will not go practice or use is outrageous.
The amount of people, friends, family, neighbors that I have using ChatGPT now, like, dude, if we could be an affiliate for ChatGPT, like I'd be rolling in bank right now. It's such a great resource. The
When you
resources
want
that
it,
are out there now are just literally insane. And
oh,
yeah. So
so
let's
what
go
do
back to
you
the original.
so what do you asked me. Now I'm asking you, and we're doing good on time. So what is, in your estimation of a brand new person starting, to get them to uh not just profit, but let's say $500 a month? Is it a system that's going to get them there, or is it training through a system? What do you think in your estimation?
I, at least right now, I'm kind of seeing it as this. And I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth here. A system is, and it doesn't even have the when. And by the way, when I reference system, and I'm sure it's the same thing for you, it doesn't need to be something systematic where you have to go to a site and log in and create a username and password, and now you have this system with a series of videos and all this other stuff. A system could be a step-by-step process, a systematic process. You could write it down on a piece of paper. And this is our system for getting stuff done. This is our system for growing your business. It all depends. It's how you perceive it. But the system cannot be effective unless you have good training. So I think that the training, if it's in a system or not in a system, I think the training is more important. The
What are you training them
guidance.
on?
What's up?
What are you training them on? The system?
Not training them on the system, training them of the IPAs, income producing activities, what they actually need to go do to grow their business.
So I guess that's exactly what I'm saying. The system should be a list of, once you are plugged into your opportunity, here is the steps that you should be taking to create extra income for your family. Like, that's in my head, that's the system. So if I'm taking them through a walkthrough, or if I'm training on this is what you should be doing, your You're pushing them through doing the steps, getting to know their business, getting to know their back office, getting to know products or services. And it's like, why is it, and this is, I just messed up my own head. Why is it doesn't take any training or education to share that you just loved a movie? How hard is that?
Yeah.
My friend Tina has been training for years that everything you need to know about network marketing you learned in first grade. You learned how to do show and tell in first grade.
Yeah.
And that's all we do. We show and we tell. We show and we tell. And we show and we tell. But along this way, all of us
Mm-hmm.
find out about compensation plans, and we find out about products and services, and we find out about ingredients, and we find out about different things, and all that extra, if you don't use it correctly, is just stumbling blocks along the way. It's like, why does a brand new person ever need to know about the comp plan? Why?
They don't.
It Oh, hey, Bob. Hey, look, I found a way we can make some extra money. I can't explain it right now. Do you want to do it with me? What is it? Okay, let me show it to you.
Yeah.
You were talking about resources earlier. What did you want to say about resources?
Oh,
Because I just invited Bob.
yeah. I'm gonna melt some faces here, and I'm gonna have some paradigm shifts for some of y'all, especially when it comes to, like, have you heard the phrase, Curry, that you have to provide enough value for people in order to get them to click, in order to get them to whatever, right?
Sure.
You have to learn how to create value, right, in the marketplace. Have you heard that, or something similar to that?
Of course, I've heard that. Yes.
So instead of you having to come up with all of this value, what if the offer or the resource was the value? And all you had to do is literally just go, here's your value. Like, I heard that years ago, and more in the terms of email marketing, where it's like, if you want people to open an email and click on a link, you have to provide all this. You have to give them a reason to click the link. And it's like,
you got to sell the link click. Is that what you just told me?
You got to provide enough value to get them to want to click and go to the next phase. And it's like, no, because the offer is the value. And then you just solve a problem by saying, oh, we'll take money, right? Make money online or whatever. It's like, oh, you want more income? Click here. Brevity, short, to the point, right? Like, you click here, and then you get the value of that offer.
Well, we were taught quite a while ago, both of us were kind of taught this, that the greatest landing page on the planet was see how I made $872.18 in 1 month, name, submit. Like, there was no, it was like, okay, I want to see how they made money. I might want to make money with them. I might want to check this out. And by the way, I think that was that turning point for me in my second company, where I literally stopped doing anything other than inviting.
Yep.
Like, I don't want to do all the extra work. I don't want to explain anything. I'm going to let the resource be the value. And my life changed. Like, the moment I mean, 4.5 years of being hard-headed, 4.5 years of wasting time. And all I had to do was invite to a resource and let people make decisions without trying to be, oh, but you didn't get it. Listen, let me show it to you a different way. Let me invite you. No, just go to the next person.
Let me get you on a 3-way call.
I do like 3-way calls, but
sure.
But the 3-way calls should only be, if you have questions, let me get somebody to answer them for you. Don't be the answer guy. Don't be the knowledge. Be the path to knowledge.
I had an opportunity over the weekend. Somebody hit me up on Saturday. One of my people, one of my guys, and said, "Hey, Are you available tonight to do a three-way? And I said, maybe. Um, I'll usually always make time, no matter when it is, even if it's a weekend. And I said to my guy, I said, has this person watched this video and this video? And they said no. And I said, okay,
We
we're
ain't going
not
a
doing a
three-way.
three-way until they watch those two things. Because I'm not going to be the person that sits there and explains how everything works. That's
Right.
a waste of everybody's time. So once they watch those two things, you hit me up and let me know. So whatever niche that you're in, let's say it's health and fitness or whatever your business, your network marketing company is, what problem does your specific product or service solve? Okay. And then you narrow it down, you niche down as far as you can, and then you own that problem. You become the creator, the influencer, the master of that problem, constantly talking about what is the biggest pain point in that niche, in that industry, in that realm that you're in. And you become the topic expert. You become the owner and the solver of that problem. So whether it's making more money, finance, health, wealth, whatever it is, and you become the resource. And I thought that was really impactful, because when you look at a network marketing company, and let's say, again, we'll talk health and fitness. There's network marketing companies out there and they have hundreds of products, hundreds of things that do all kinds of different things. But what is a root cause that you can drill down to, and a problem that you can solve for a lot of people based on what it is that you do? And then you just own that and you talk about that and you weave that into all your content. So anytime someone sees a piece of content from you, they're going to be like, this person's talking my language. This person they know how to solve my problem, And I thought that was pretty profound.
That's great. That's really good information. Even I'm sitting here thinking in my head, it's exactly uh, what some of us have tried to become. You know what I mean? It's like if I'm being totally honest, network marketing changed my financial life. It
Sure.
changed so my desires have been to help average people create an above average income.
Yeah.
Like that's been my tagline. It's been my message. It's like I don't really care what it is that I'm sharing, what I'm excited about. If it can help people make extra money, I want to help the average person who has very little. And that's become my only thing.
Yeah.
Like I can go from company to company. I could go from product to product, service to service. And my goal is not to do the other things. Is this going to actually help somebody make money?
Mm-hmm.
I got pitched this weekend for something that people are excited about. People are chasing after this thing and it's becoming a trend. And they're just like, oh, if you came over here, you do all these things. And I'm like, but so few people will actually make money.
Yeah.
Why do I want to be in something that doesn't actually help a lot of people? And so that's my drive. It's like that. I don't need to chase extra money for me. I don't need to be. People look at some of us and go, "Oh, you're just doing it for the money." That I'm not doing it just for the money. I'm doing it because I want to help other people make money. That's the money that I want. I want to
Mm-hmm.
see other people go on a new adventure. I want to see other people have a better Christmas. And network marketing gave that to me.
Yeah.
It gave me abilities to help people. So I love that you talked about finding that niche and running and just focusing on it.
It made a lot more sense. And I'll take it one step further. What I did is I said, wow, here's two really great points in the video. I copied the URL of the video. I went over to comey.ai. You guys can use this free service. And then on that site, they have a free YouTube transcript generator. So I popped the video in there. I took the transcript. I went over to ChatGPT and I said, hey, Chat, take these two chapters, one on owning the problem, one on telling your story, and break them down into simple bullet points to help me effectively get my message across. ChatGPT is like, hold my beer, bloop, takes the script, pops it all out. And I said, cool. Now take chapter 1, which is the part about owning your problem, and apply it to my business. How can I effectively, and I even asked ChatGPT, I said, what specific problem can I own in my content and utilize to my advantage to educate my audience on why they need my business, product, or service? And ChatGPT was like, and I love it because it just said, this is an awesome question to ask, and you have the perfect solution with what's going on in the marketplace right now. And it broke it all down, and it gave me all the bullet points. And then it said, of course, like chat always does, goes, oh, would you like me to create you a 30-day marketing strategy and have 30 days worth of content? Psst, okay.
Yeah.
Sure I do.
No, no, I don't. I don't want that.
No, I don't want more information. I don't want to learn. And it was, yeah, so it was a great way to take a video that I saw. And it all started, this is the crazy part, guys. Like, it all started with a thumbnail that got my attention. And I was explaining this last night to some people. Instead of, like, when you guys get to a video and you watch a video and you might learn something, you might have an aha moment. You might be like, oh, that was really cool. Like, do you just take that and then be like, yay, and then check the box and then move on to the next video? Or do you actually take the information that you just learned something cool and go, wow, that was really cool. Now let me take it a step further and turn this into income producing activities. So, you know.
And again, I think I learned that from Ray Higdon, who, it's, and you've mentioned it before, and you have an acronym for it.
ILT.
Yeah, ILT. And it's literally, you take the information that you just consumed, regurgitate it into the thoughts that you had about it, and then you use that content to create. And by the way, this is all influence development, leadership development. When people see you creating content that is value add, and it's literally you being excited about information you just learned and you want to share it with them, you're going to attract more followers over time.
So, yeah, I mean, training are things that you can go do. Systems can help you navigate that training and do it in a specific order, in a specific way to help you get the results. So, which is more important, a system or training? We'll let you guys decide. What are your thoughts?